Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ICS 321, and today is January 17th, 2022. And this is the first video that I'm making for this class this semester. And we have a new textbook, and there are some questions on the very first chapter. So I'm making this quick video before my regularly scheduled weekly videos to get you through lab 1.6. So let me share my screen. Let's see, I'll click this one and I'm going to go to screen. Okay. So I'm going to log in. I've set myself up as a student in here with my externals. So I have these are Laulima websites set up like yours, should look more like yours, and we're in ICS 321. These are the other classes I'm teaching. And so we are, take a peek at the syllabus, and we are in the first week here, but what we're going to be concerned with today is click on our textbook here, and you should all sign up for this textbook. It costs 77 bucks. And you're responsible for all of the anyway, you're responsible for going through and doing all the exercises. Okay, so like for example here, what's the next? Oh, these things, participation activities. You have to click through these. You click through them and you get all the points. It's very simple. We are on. We're doing this one here. This is the question that a lot of folks had. I promised somebody yesterday that I'd make this video today. So, all right, there's two ways that you can do this assignment, because really getting all the points for the assignment is to paste the correct thing in here, clicking submit mode and running the program and seeing that you got all 10 points. So the first way I'm going to show you is the way they have you do it in this book with this installing MySQL on your database first. So I've gone through the process of installing MySQL already on my computer. And if you can get through that, then you can do it the way I'm going to show you right now. If you did not get through that, then I'll show you the alternative that I've set up for you that I used to, or that all my classes have used previously in the platform that you're going to be doing your assignment on, because you can use the server that you're being given for this class. You can use that to generate the create table statement that you're supposed to paste into here. But I guess it's kind of cool to have MySQL running on your computer. So the first thing I'm going to do is, okay, so after I've installed, now to install MySQL, you want to click on both these things, and you got to go through it, and you end up having to install Visual C++ or something like that. That all gets installed on your server on your computer. And then you're going to download. Okay, so I'm going to start mine up here. It's let's see here. MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench. That's the one I installed. I installed those other things too. I'm not sure I needed to do that. Anyway, it comes up and looks like this. And this is the database that you have to do both these steps, because one installs the server and the other one installs Workbench. So I have Workbench here running, and it's connected to this instance of MySQL that I have running on my computer. I bet you could I bet you could use MySQL Workbench to connect to your server that you're given for this class. Maybe I'll look into that later. Anyway, so I've got this, and so I click on that, and it starts up. Now, if it doesn't start, when you install it, it's going to ask you for a password, and that's the root password for the SQL server. And the last time I started it up, there's this checkbox I could check that stores my password in some place, and so now when I open it up, it didn't ask me for the password. So yours might be different the first time, and once you make sure you remember that password that you had to specify when you install MySQL. All right, so this is how it looks like when you start up. Notice that there's down here this, you can look at schemas and you can look at administration. Okay, it starts out with query here. That's just like clicking on this little button here. See, there's another, that's just another one. And why does it say 3? Because I did 1 and 2 earlier. Another 1 and 4. Okay, so anyway, they're all the same. They're just queries. And when they say file, that means you can save it. So, you know, you type in this nice long query and you might want to save it to run later, but that's okay. The reason I've set up 3 is because they kind of should take you through 3 things down here. First thing they take you through is okay, so first, this is the Sakila schema file, and I'm going to save that. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Desktop, ICS 320. I save it here, my Sakila schema SQL. And then the other one is the data. I'm going to save that one. Data. And okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to run. This is a whole bunch of SQL statements. I'll show you. Let me get to the desktop. These are the 2 files, and this is the schema. You run this first, and this is a bunch of, I just opened it up with my editor. This is my editor, and let me close out these other versions. Oh, I guess they're all the same. Desktop. Okay, and so this is just a bunch of SQL statements that create a bunch of tables. No data in the tables, just creates a bunch of tables. And the other one here actually is a bunch of insert statements that, you know, a bunch of insert statements to insert all the data. So after you execute both of these scripts, then you have a database in your SQL server. And so I'm not sure how they tell you to do, but I'm just going to start with query 1, and I'm going to take, you have to do the schema first. Here's the schema, and I'm just going to copy paste. Can I do a select all? I'm going to do Control A and then copy. And then I'll go over here and I'm going to do paste. Okay, bunch of select statements. And then I'm going to execute this by clicking on this little arrow with this little lightning rod here. What is this doing? This is a lightning rod. So I'm going to execute all the whole script. Okay. Probably done. I can go over schemas now. And where's my database? Well, you gotta do refresh. You gotta remember to refresh. There it is, Sakila. And you click on this little down arrow and click on this tables down arrow, and there are all my tables, but they're all empty. So let's load them tables up. I'm going to go to data, and here's a bunch of data. I'm going to do Control A, copy. I'm going to go and just so you can see that there's different things, I'm going to do paste it right over here. Paste. Oh, by the way, first let's go see that there's no data here. I'm going to click down on actor. Let's see, can I? Select rows, limit 1000. Yeah, see there, it's empty. There's no data in here. What about film? Empty. All right, so let's execute this. Just the one that's got all the, oh, this all got all the data. Let's execute this. Click this little lightning rod. Is it done? It's probably done. Yeah, it's probably done. Okay, so now let's do, oh, let's refresh. Refresh all. Now let's look. select on, boom. Look at all those actors. Let's look at films. Boom, look at all them films. Over here, I bet I can refresh this. I bet I could just execute this again. Yeah, there they are. Okay. All right, so I've done that. Now, what do I need to, what am I supposed to paste in down here? Okay, so we just did this. Recreate a table. Which table do we recreate? We create the actor table. We want to paste the create table statement for the actor table in here, and we want to steal it from this thing. So I'm going to go to the actor table, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say copy to clipboard, create statement, copy to clipboard. Then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to paste that bad boy right here. And they say that I got to take this out because it'll confuse Zybooks. It says that right here, right? Delete the following characters for compatibility with Zy. So you want to delete that out. All the apostrophes, really? They want you to take out those? It's a pain. All right, well, I'm just gonna do what they say. And but when you do it the other way, you can say it at the previous step to get rid of all these things. And there's a reason for that. What's the reason? When you use those backticks, you can actually have spaces in your column names, in your field names, but it's better not to do that. Okay, so and we're using underscores. All right, so they just execute submit mode, submit for grading. And that is how we do that. Okay, too bad there aren't any errors, because then I'd be able to show you how to read error messages. But okay, so that's one way. I'm just gonna load that default template back up again, and I'm gonna go do the other way. What's the other way? Well, go back to your website, go back to La Lima, and click on assignments, and look at the first assignment. And this is how you access the server that you've all been given. Okay, and the way you do it is your server is okay. So you read all this, and it's actually your uhusername.ics321.com. So and then that's your website. And then the username that you use to log in is actually the first 5 characters of your username, followed by 321. It was ICS 321. And your password is your capital first letter of your last name, lowercase first letter of your first name, your 8-digit UHID, followed by %, hashtag, exclamation point. So this is my email address, and so my server is this, and my username would be this. It's the first 5 letters and then 321, and my password would be this. If this were my 8-digit UHID, it's not. If that were it, then that would be my password. Okay. Now, so let's log in. Now, let me just do this. I'm going to take it's richardh.ics321.com. Okay, and yours is your username, and you can go to that, and you're not going to have anything there, because you're only going to have, let's see, you're going to, I'm going to do another one. ARDH.ICS. Do I still have this? ITS. Never mind. You aren't going to have anything here except for the CGI bin directory. Okay, so if that's all you should see. If you see more stuff, it could mean that you took a class from me previously, or if you do have more stuff and you didn't take a class from me previously, then let me know there's something fishy going on. All right, so but you don't want to go to your main website. You want to go to cPanel, and for your cPanel is RICH. If it's according to the instructions, it'd be this, but actually, for me, it's just from the old days. So I actually just am still using that password. You put your username, your password in, and it's going to open up. It's going to look something like this. And here's how you. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff here, but what we're going to look at today is MySQL databases and PHP-MyAdmin. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to and I'm going to create a database called Sakila, and I'm going to run both of these scripts. Okay, I'm going to run both of these scripts to create the database on my server. So here, and so first I'm going to go to MySQL databases, and I'm going to create a new database called Sakila. That's what they call it, Sakila. Create database. That's all I got to do. Done. Now let's go back to cPanel. I just clicked up here, and now let's go to PHP-MyAdmin. Now, when you open up PHP-MyAdmin, you're not going to have any of this stuff. These are all databases that you are going to create in this class. The assignments, all the assignments you're going to. These are all the assignments are all done already. But I just created this database here, Sakila. I'm going to click on that. See, there's no tables, no nothing. Okay, so I'm going to execute I'm going to click on the SQL. Okay, and I'm just going to paste the SQL in there. Now, I got to make a couple little, this is the schema. First, just paste in the schema, but you got to modify the schema a little bit because we are already, the Sakila is not in there. So comment this out, and you comment it out by putting 2 dashes. Comment that out. We are not going to create the schema. We are not going to create a database. We've already created a database, and we're already in Sakila. Okay, it turns out that these particular statements don't work in PHP-MyAdmin. PHP-MyAdmin, you have to be in the database. You go into the database, and then anything so the database is already specified. Okay, so you have to get rid of those. Okay, that's the first thing you have to do. The second thing you have to do is you have to scroll down. This is a terrible thing that you have to do, but you have to scroll down and find here's a mention of the database. Let's go back up to the top. I'm going to search for the database. Search for Sakila. Search for Sakila. That's my cat. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now there should be no instances of, there should be no specifying of the database, okay? And so it doesn't specify the database at all up here, but in this particular section of code here, it's going and specifying the database, and that causes an error when we paste it in. So I got to get rid of these. What I'm going to do is well, I'll just get rid of it manually. I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of all the database prefixes. Make sure you get them all. 4 more. 1. And of course, you can do it a faster way if you know your editor. And so I've gotten rid of all the Sakila. There's no more, right? Okay, let me just get rid of this last one. Now I'm going to see if I can find any more past the end of file. Go back to the beginning, and there's these 3 up here in my comments. Okay, so so this is ready to go. I'm going to copy it, do Control A, Control copy. I like to use the mouse ones when I'm making a video. And then I'm just going to paste it in here. Paste Control V. There it is. And go. Oh no. Huh. I thought that commented it out. Just gonna get rid of it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Copy, paste it. I'm going to try it again. I hope I don't have to undo something. Oh, it's right here. So I'm just going to go up to the top here and get rid of those three statements. I just said that needed a comment. So must not go. Shoot, so I'm gonna have to edit this part out. I don't want to run SQL. I want to import. So I'm gonna save this as well, I'm just gonna save it. Okay, so I've made these edits, and okay, I've made these edits. Okay, so this should work. So I'm gonna save this. And by the way, in the data, I gotta also get rid of a couple up at the top here. I gotta get rid of this. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. This is in the data. Okay, so I've made these two edits. I've taken out 3 use statements. I've taken out some references to the database Sakila down here someplace, and here I've taken out the use statement. So I've modified these 2 files that way, and instead of what I was trying to do, I'm going to import. Okay, I'm going to import, and so here I'm going to browse to find those 2 edited ones. This one is no, I got to do the schema first. Yeah, do the schema first. And then I want to do this. Enable form. I want to uncheck that. That's got to be unchecked. Uncheck enable foreign key check. See, that's what caused the problem before. So then hit go. Oh, it's because it was created already from before. So let's go back to the database again, and let's just delete this out. So now my database has got no tables. You know, I think I might leave this in. I might leave this section in. It's kind of good that you see me have errors. So when you have errors, you kind of know how I navigate around them. Okay, so anyway, I've got these 2 files here, and let's start this again. I'm in the database here. I'm going to import, browse, schema. Make sure you uncheck enable foreign key checks, and then click go. There they all are. And looky here, this thing pops open and there's all of our tables. But again, you click on actor and it's empty. So now we're going to go back to the database. Make sure you're back at the database and you see the list of all the tables here. Their rows are all 0. By the way, these are called views. We're going to be making some views. Assignment 2, we're actually, we make a bunch of databases and so on. So now we're going to import again, and here we're going to all those insert statements right here. We're going to run this. So that's that, importing, and just disable that. Just make sure that doesn't cause you problems. Hit go. Anyway, I think, actually, you don't really even have to do this part to do the assignment. You don't have to load up the database, because all we want is the create statement for the actor table. Okay, I mean, they've all been executed. Now when you click on the actor table, you see there's got actors in there. But we want the create table statement for this table. So I'm going to export, and I'm going to do custom, and I'm not going to bother. I'm going to just view as text because I'm just going to copy it and paste it into Zybooks. I'm going to not display comments. I'm going to not. I'm not going to enclose it in this. I only want the structure. Only want the structure. I want the data. I guess I'll leave that. I don't want this create view. I don't want to create trigger, and I don't. It says enclose table and column names and back quotes. I don't want to do that. Okay, so now hit go, and here's this create table. Now I think I can I'm just going to do all three of these. I'm just going to copy this whole thing. Copy. And I'm going to paste that in here and see if that works. It's not quite the same as before because you can actually define these primary keys and so on. You can do that up here inside the single create statement. That I'm just going to see if this works. Submit mode, submit for grading. Ah, 10 out of 10. So I guess I don't have to. But how do I think I would do this. Take this, put this comma, put that there with a comma. Put this here. Well, I gotta put primary key. I'm just gonna see if this works. Key, and then this. Oh, unsigned, not null. Small actor ID. Unsigned, not null. Auto increment. Put that up here. Small int 5, unsigned. Okay, so now I can get rid of these two things. These things here. See if this gets me. Yep, got all the points. Anyway, so that's how you do the first lab, lab 1.6. And I've sort of introduced you to your server, and so now you're going to be ready to go for your server assignments also. Hope this helps.